I'm Ben.
I'm Leo.
I'm Dan.
Johnny.
We are childhood.
To hear my cry in this world that we made. Just another man with an unholy gaze.
What do you think of the resurgence of psychedelic pop in the UK and Australia? Where do you think it's going? Do you like to be considered a part of it?
I think there is definitely like a resurgence of kind of more psychedelic tinged kind of pop guitar music. But yeah, I think it's kind of like sometimes a bit of an overused word, a little bit. Like I think we like to focus on some elements of psychedelia, if you call it that, but there's so much other things that we're into. Like we love like just straight normal pop music and soul and stuff like that. But you know, I think it's a good thing because I guess it implies that things are a bit more interesting.
Brown with support from Parma Violets, allowing you to tour with them, and they said really nice stuff about you. Is that really important for you?
Yeah. I think mainly we were actually friends before we played with them. So and then it's just kind of like not really. I guess playing with them was really good for us just to like practice live and stuff. Because when the first tour we went on, that was our first couple of gigs, but they've more helped us out with like things that aren't in the public eye, like rehearsal space for free and stuff like that, and giving us guitars. Yeah. Just the physical. I think people got really obsessive. Well, people are still really obsessed with like digital, but like having a physical thing is like becoming more precious because everything is now via like people's laptops. I don't think there's enough separation in people's lives. Like even my life, I go home, like my room essentially is defined by my laptop. And I think you need a bit more separation, so people are sort of taking value in that.
I heard one of you might have been part of the punk bossa nova scene.
Oh yeah, that's not exactly true.
Oh, it is true. It is true though.
It was true in the past life. Yeah. You know, I like punk and bossa nova and try to fuse them together. Well, you know,
It wasn't special.
Unfortunately, it wasn't special. So that's why
It was a science experiment.
Yeah. So I had to join Charlie because that failed.
You're going to play a festival out in Japan.
Yeah.
Have you got some fans and links out there?
I think so. Like that, we only know that through the internet, really. So like, we're going there twice. So we're going there in a couple of weeks after this tour, and then we're going again in August. But like, I don't know if there was any fans when we booked the gigs. There must have been, because there must have been a reason why they did. But since we've been announcing the gigs, there's like we see a lot more internet stuff between Japanese people and our music. So that's
pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think. Yeah.
We heard that you're against on-stage banter.
Let me clear this up. Let me clear this up.
Do you think that matters? Or were Noisy just trying to make you be serious about stuff?
Yes. I like those guys and it's fine, but what I think was misinterpreted was that what I was trying to say was I'm against on-stage banter if it starts compromising with like the flow of the music. So, and I think that the interview that we did with them was that boring that they had to sort of somehow make some kind of like sort of like, I don't know, quote like it was like the Sun paper or something like that. Obviously we don't hate it because it's just like silly to hate something that like minuscule, but like realistically we just don't really like it when it's just turning into like a joke fest rather than a music fest. But you know, if it's done well, it's great.
How important is Paul Simon to you? Or anyone?
Paul Simon?
Well, for me and Dan, I mean, like that's probably. I think the first music I remember hearing was probably Paul Simon, Graceland, on the way down to probably Devon or somewhere equally gorgeous. But yeah, I just remember like hearing that and it kind of really resonated with me kind of as a young person who sort of hadn't really heard much music beforehand. And for Dan,
It was just like the most musical thing I'd ever heard when I was a kid. Like, it was like amazing, and the bass.
You still like it
I
easily
still
now?
love it. I still listen to it. The bass
Too
lines
much,
on that
maybe?
record. Too much, possibly.
In the van.
But yeah, just someone me and Leo have always loved.
You say that you are a hot boy band from London.
And we are.
Yourself in boy band category.
Yeah, that's not because I think the whole thing is like
And we're in a band.
we're obviously boys in the band, so I think we kind of made a little joke about that, and then people latched onto that because they decided to. But I'll go with it. I mean, it's like kind of by definition is what was happening. So you can't really deny the facts.
Where does your heart lie? London or Nottingham?
It's got to be with
Definitely with London, yeah. I'd feel like a sort of imposter staying from Nottingham because I've only lived there for 3 years, and I lived in London for all the other ones. So yeah, so it was. Yeah, I think a lot of people have that whole thing because we started the band in Nottingham, so I think people rely on that kind of source as a place of, you know, like reference. But I mean, we love Nottingham, but we probably don't love it as much as the other cool bands that are coming out of there. So we wouldn't like to take that away from them.
You got your first bit of radio play on Jarvis Copper's Sunday Service.
We did.
He's a bit of a legend.
That's amazing. You remember
Very
that?
cool.
Yeah. Actually, I remember listening to that, and I was working in a pub, and they played our like really scrappy demo we made, which I really loved. But I was amazed they played that on like mainstream radio because like I was still experimenting with how to even plug and interface into a laptop at that stage. So that's cool. We've met Jarvis quite a few times since then, and yeah, he's really a cool guy. So it's an honour to be premiered in that way in his show. So yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear your album. Are you excited about it? What was the whole process like? I think you said before maybe that you're more a fan of playing live than perhaps being in the studio. So how was the whole kind of process for you? Was it really creative in there, or was it?
Massively
Well,
so,
I mean,
yeah.
but also it tied in because what we've never done when we've been recording is actually play the song live, like the whole way through. And Dan Carey kind of allowed us to do that. So we sort of do take after take, and he'd sort of choose one take that he thought was the best, where everyone was kind of on the same wavelength.
I meant to say we did it in one take.
The whole album was in one long take.
But like, I personally prefer being in the studio, but I think it was better for the whole band because like, usually with the whole band in the studio, it's silly when we're all just doing drums and then guitar. So it was good to do that. It's sort of really refreshing concept, like not concept, but like method of doing it. And yeah, it's pretty good. And then like we did a few songs which are a little bit different. So I did a couple of songs just with me and Johnny maybe. So a lot of them are quite beat heavy, like. So some of the songs that a lot of people haven't heard. So yeah, we changed it up, but generally it was just live. So yeah, that was really refreshing. Thank you, man.